Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be looking at the production we did recently at the General Council of the Church of Pentecost 2025, and I did some few shots that I want to show you. You can add that to your production when you are doing Gimbal. Okay, so this one is specifically about the use of Gimbal. Now I'm using the DJI RS3. I wish I get the 4, but the 4 too, I think the 4, my church is having the 4, Pentiv is also having the 4 Pro, but I wish I get the mini so that it's lightweight. I don't want to be carrying heavy gimbal at this time. I think I also like the vertical mode it's having, so I will try and get one very soon. Okay, so let's quickly get to the camera that I use. So I use the Canon R. I've been saying that Canon R and then the R5 is the only camera that you can output and still record on the card, and they've discontinued the R. So now the one you get is a used one or a refurbished one that you can even get from Canon. So I normally use the R. Now I'm using 16 RF16, and then once in a while I use the 35. I used to make use of the 50, but I think there's a challenge with that one, so I'm sticking to the 35. One nice thing about the Canon R is that when you are doing 4K, it will crop in. Okay, so sometimes I'm shooting, I want to do 4K so that I get closer to my subject. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to quickly play the video. The first thing I do is to get an establishing shot, something like this, and then from there I'll go forward. I will even move, then go forward. Okay, so after this I'll go forward. Now this is the opening prayer, and I'm using 35. I'm a little far away. I'm sure I'm even doing 4K, so it will crop in a little for you. Okay, so what I'm doing is to pan from left to right, and I'm still moving. My whole body is moving, and then I'm holding the gimbal, and then I'm also following him in a very straight line. Okay, it's very difficult sometimes because you have to follow him. So I was doing that, and then I will stop at a point when I'm tired. I will let him pass, and then I will still follow him. So that's what you are seeing. Look at this. I was closer to him, and then I came out with this angle, and this is looking beautiful. Okay, then I still follow him. Now I'm closer at 35. I'm using 35 with a crop lens. Then this is the chairman. This shot for this particular one was stable. I wasn't really doing anything. It was just a stable. I was just standing there because I don't want to cross any camera at that time. So then I started moving. So you can see my movement, and the director is going to pick it. Now one thing is that the director have to communicate with me that they are going to pick my shot, and they always pick the shot when I start to move. And sometimes it's annoying when you are moving and they are not picking the shot. So I will wait until I get them to ask me to move. Then look at this one. This one, there's a little movement. I'm not that extremely close. It's because I'm doing 4K. It's able to zoom in to get the chairman quite close. Okay, and look at this. I'm just moving a little. And then I brought in this shot. I wanted this to come in and all of that. Now the second one I want us to look at is what I will do is when it's the opening prayer, okay, or when it is praises, I will first take a closer of the people dancing. Sometimes I even go into to take a wide shot, but this particular one I decided to do a close one. There's another person with a gimbal, that is Azasoo from Pen TV. He is doing, I think, 15 to 35 lens, so he's doing more of a very wide one, and I decided to do something closer, and then I will change my lens and do a wider one, especially if I'm going to take the choir. Okay, so this is just 35 I'm using for this particular shot, and then from there I'll quickly move to the choir. This is 16, so I'm using 16 for this particular one. It's quite wide. That is Danny in the shot there. He's trying to get some nice pictures, so I will do this, and then I will come in. So look at this. Let me quickly pause on this. So let me do this. Let me pause on. Look at how I did the camera. Okay. So when you look on the gimbal, there is PTF, there is PF, and then there is FP. Okay, these are all modes you can use. So there is some that you can go up and down. You will not go, and I mean I will do a video on that one. But I normally use the FP, which enable the gimbal to, when I tilt the gimbal like this, it's going to tilt that way. Going to give, like when you are shooting a music video, people normally use it. I introduced this to Eduse and he's been abusing it. So I sometimes use it for the choir. So look at this. You see how nicely it turns. Then I will do and then come back. Okay. And then I'll pan on them. There are times that I'll pan on them one by one. I will zoom in at 35, using 35 mm. I will go 4K, which will zoom into the subject, and then I'll have that shot. This is also 35 or it's 16. It's 35. I'm a little away from them just to do that movement, panning from left to right. Now look at this. As I was panning, I decided to move onto them. Okay. Yeah. Then there was a place that the choristers were actually engaging with the shot. It's also very important, the dressing, your shoe, and how you are reacting on stage as a chorister. Now, there are times I see a lot of churches that the choir, they'll be talking on stage. So this is a very close shot. Look at this. This is very close. And then I will do this one by one. I'll pan to take individually. Okay, just look at this. So I will do this. And the director is picking all these shots. These are nice shots that he will be adding, apart from the static ones that you have. So if you're a church, you can get a gimbal to add to your production. So look at this. Look at this. Then there's a place they were really dancing and they were doing some sign, and I was able to capture that. This is it. Look at this. Okay, so look at this. This is very nice. Okay, so Eduse was doing a wide shot. He'll go to the instrumentalist and he will come back here. So this is a wider one I'm doing. And especially when the choir is leaving the stage, I normally want to do a wide shot and then I can move back for that particular one. The last one I did that I also added some angle. So look at this particular one. You see that when I'm moving with my gimbal, I'm tilting the gimbal in a way. So it will look as if there is the building that is moving. Okay, it will look like the building that is moving. So I'm moving at the same time I'm tilting the camera. Okay, so this is Dinah Hamilton. She ministered there, and look at this shot. It's the same way I was just moving. I was moving and then tilt the camera a little to get here. And it's going to look like the building is moving. It's the building that is moving. So I'll do a wide shot, then I will go in, I will quickly change to 4K. It's a lot of work, but I normally do it. I change quickly to 4K to be able to get close to the subject. Remember, there's a main camera. There's about 2 main cameras. So I always try to prevent myself from being seen. But in a situation where I have to quickly go on stage, it means I have to be good so that they can pick my shot to replace that one. But there are other cameras too that are also taking a very close shot of the people on stage. I think we were doing more than 8 cameras. So look at how close I am to her. Then this is where I went back to the FP to be able to tilt that movement. It's very nice. When you are doing it, you tend to even abuse it. But when you see it on the screen, you see that it's quite beautiful. So this is it. Yeah, so look at this. I'm following here. Then I will come back to those who are backing here. So just look at this. So within that short time, I'm doing a lot. Within a short time, I'm doing a lot. I'm able to capture so many angles. And this one, to look at how I tilt it. and then I'm back to here. Now this one is, I cut the video to just do an illustration. You will probably just see how I'm able to move to them. And when I'm shooting, I make sure I'm more stable. Okay. So look at this. When I go to FP, the camera and the gimbal, the movement is so nice for me. If you try to use this, you just abuse it. I like moving. Now look at this. I'm taking the legs and then I go up. So it's very important for the choristers to wear nice shoes, or else you're going to expose your shoe. But it's a nice shot that you take it from the down to the top and all of that. So that is about that particular one. One thing about gimbal is that it's for stability, but it doesn't mean if you are just moving anyhow and there's a shake, it's going to do magic for you. You yourself, you have to be stable in a way to be able to have it a stable shot. So sometimes we hold this and we would do our leg in a certain way and be careful in terms of movement. So it's very important when you are using a gimbal to make sure you are stable. Now I would ask churches who have the finances to add a gimbal to their production. It's going to bring a whole lot of changes to the whole church service. If I go to church on Sunday, sometimes with my camera and a gimbal, people see that, oh, there's a change in terms of the production. And all the churches I go to, when we are using a gimbal, people will be like, oh, this production is new and all of that. So if you can't get a crane, you can get the DJI gimbal to, or any other brand, and add it to your production. Now, I would like to use this opportunity to thank all of you who have been engaging with my content, especially on YouTube. Okay, and I also realize I'm doing a lot over there, but I don't see a lot of you engaging with my content. So I'm appealing to all of you, especially church media, those who are into photography and video. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, engage with my content. Some of the questions you've been asking me, they are all there. Okay, so engage with my content. Every Sunday 6 p.m. I'll be going live to talk about church media. Okay, so thank you very much and see you in my next video.